Welcome to the Retro Horror Academy. I'm Daniel Richardson, and today we're going to be looking at the year 1900. We'll be discussing 1900 through 1905, but the Golden Skull Award that we'll be handing out today to the top film will be from 1900. So in this era of horror, it's still a lot of the pioneers of filmmaking working and honing their craft. People like George Méliès, George Albert Smith, and Edwin S. Porter have now, taking what they've learned and they just keep trying to make it better. The effects are getting a little bit more elaborate now, and it's just them honing their craft. I guess that's the way to say it. It's during this time that Méliès, I guess the most notable films that come out of this era. George Méliès did 3 different films spanning from 1900s and 1903 that were based on the 1859 opera Faust. And it's the 3rd one he did that was in 1903. That was entitled, depending on where you're at, is either The Damnation of Faust or Faust in Hell, which I really like that title. That seems more grindhousey. Faust in Hell. But, all these were based on the opera, but for the most part, you wouldn't know that unless they told you, because they were just different special effects, whatever. There was no real storytelling technique until a year later, in 1904, when he went ahead and released. It was also called The Damnation of Faust in other regions, even though the previous one was called that. But it was also called Faust and Marguerite. Not to be confused with a previous film from 1900 that Edwin S. Porter did called Faust and Marguerite. Sorry, I know it's a little confusing, but I guess there was no copyright laws back then. They were just kind of taking whatever titles they wanted. However, with the 1904 version of Faust and Marguerite, this may be, if we're not mistaken, the first horror sequel. And it was a follow-up of The Damnation of Faust from 1903. And this one did include more storyline to it. And so here you are seeing the filmmakers now, they're kind of advancing and evolving from just showing you gimmicks or a trick or an illusion on screen, and now they're actually showing you a story. They are, incorporating elements of storytelling here. And so, tremendous, step forward in horror filmmaking right there. So, what I want to talk about, though, we're going to go back to 1900 and talk about what was the top film from 1900. What is the Golden Skull winner from this year? This was Edward S. Porter, or Edwin S. Porter, and again, you can see 2 different countries, 2 different filmmakers, but using the same techniques, and it's kind of neat to see that transport across the the Atlantic Ocean there. Another thing that's really good about this thing is you're seeing a lot of the cool special effects you saw previously. A lot of transformations, body switching, people being turned into skeletons, vice versa, and we have a little bit of a love story in this one. So there you have it. The #1 movie of 1900 is Faust and Marguerite. Come join us next time as we jump into 1906, and we'll see what that has in store for us. This is the Retro Horror Academy. I'm Daniel Richardson, and you're dismissed.